The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
You know, one of these days, the damn video will work the first time I push the fucking button. Hang on a second.
Okay, let's try this again. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Dori Loose Sports Bar. Stat Boy is not here with us tonight because I locked him in the closet. No, I'm kidding.
As you should. As you should.
He actually had to work tonight, so he's turned the reins over to your favorite redheaded bartender, moi.
Well, that was favorite redheaded bartender. Wait, no, I don't have any hair. Never mind. You're good.
Okay, so I have the long, luxurious red hair. How's that?
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. So we've got a short show for you tonight. We're going to keep it within an hour. We've got a few things to cover, a few new things I'm going to throw at you. We've got Fluffy Madden God here with us. And we've got the Cleveland combatant, Josh Mansfield.
Yay.
As well as our wonderful man on the marquee, Mr. Jeff Meacham.
There you
We're
go,
getting
brother.
ready for WrestleMania, so you're going to want to stay tuned for what's up after the sports bar because the ladies of the Meacham universe are going to be doing their predictions for WrestleMania, and it ought to be entertaining.
Always.
But first of all, we're going to kick off with something a little bit different. We have not been covering a lot of other sports, and we're going to try and make some changes to that. So there are other sports you'd like to have coverage on, please let us know in the comments, and I will do the best research I can to get more coverage for you.
There you go.
But tonight we're going to start off with the college football football.
We wish.
Yeah,
the brackets are so busted on basketball. It's like no more.
I know, right? I know. I think everybody's brackets were busted for the men's Sweet 16. But
yeah,
we are down to for the NCAA Final Four. And for the men's finals, we've got, and from everything I'm reading, these are really very unexpected. And for several of these teams, it's their first time making it this far. And
Pretty
for
cool.
other teams, it's been a long time since they've made it this far. I'm not covering my mic, am I? Am I good?
No, you're good. You're
You're
good.
good. Okay. I'm just checking because I got my notebook in front of me and I needed to lay it down so my hands were free. All right.
Good,
so
girl.
First up, we have San Diego State, and this is their first trip to the Final Four, as well as Miami and Florida Atlantic.
Wow.
Your fourth one is going to be Connecticut, and they are going for their fifth championship since 1999. So to all our first-timer teams in the men's Final Four, congrats, good luck. We wish everybody the best and have fun playing ball. Now we have the women as well, because you cannot forget us ladies. We do play sports. We are involved.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I see that. So Fluffy Madden God is up there, and he's quite happy because for the first time in 15 years, Louisiana State is in the women's Final Four.
LSU, baby. There you go.
All right. And we've got Iowa there also. It's their first time in 3 decades. For the first time ever, Virginia Tech is in the women's Final Four. And South Carolina is there for the first time since their first time in 8 years, or the first time was 8 years ago. So this is their second time in this decade, or in a decade.
Right.
So your upcoming matchups, let me jump back to the men real quick. Your upcoming matchups are going to be San Diego State at Florida Atlantic, and then Miami at Connecticut. For the women, your matchups are Louisiana State at Virginia Tech, and then Iowa at South Carolina. I know those games are happening this week, and I will have updates for you next Tuesday. All right. Any comments on that?
Well, there's one issue with that.
Okay.
The championship game is on WrestleMania Sunday.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's bad.
yeah, so I don't think anybody on this panel right now is going to be watching the game.
Nope.
However, I will have stats and updates for you next week. Okay? We're good. Following that, because I know some people follow this as well, and I'm great when it comes to miniature, but golf. We're going to cover a little bit of golf here and there. And mostly what I've got for you right now is that the 87th Masters are getting ready to start. They're getting that all together. It's the top 90 golfers. I did not know there was that many golfers involved in the Masters. But this begins actually April 6th at Augusta National Golf Club. And we'll bring you more. I'm sorry, I'm not going to list the 89 that are already in. There's room for one more after whatever's happening this weekend. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of it. I didn't write it down. But we'll have a little bit more golf coming for you too. And that's where we're at with golf right now. The big 87th Masters is coming up. Again, begins April 6th. Another sport we've been asked to maybe try and cover a little bit more is soccer. And I didn't really go through and look at the teams and the scores and everything yet. We're going to, like I said, I'm going to slowly be getting into more depth with these sports as we continue. But I had an article just real briefly just jumped out at me about somebody who's definitely playing for the love of the sport. And I am just tickled to death with that because I don't think enough people actually play anymore because of the pure love of the game. This is a third-tier match in Spain, which I'm learning, so I don't know what that's about. And I didn't write the players' names down because I didn't want to butcher them. But what it comes down to is this player collapsed mid-game in Spain. It turns out he suffered a heart attack in the middle of the game. Ambulance came in, they revived him. And the first thing he did was, let me up. I want to keep playing. Keep me in the game. If that doesn't say something about love for the game, I don't think
these players are badasses. These freaking athletes are on another level. Like I've been saying it for years. We talked about this on the sports bar. I forget when it happened, but we talked about this. That these that we had a guy on, I think it was the Dallas Stars, freaking collapsed on the bench in the middle of the game, and first thing he says is can I go back in next game? We had a goaltender for Buffalo one year take a freaking skate to the jugular. Ask the paramedics, can I go back for the third period? It's like, dude, you almost died. Like, knock that shit off. So yeah, the athletes, when they are of that caliber, are on a whole other level, and it's awesome. I love to see it.
Definitely. Well, and obviously he was not allowed to go. He had to go to the hospital and get thoroughly checked out. He's been cleared. He's doing good. He's out of danger. But I mean, kudos to this soccer player for his love of the game and his, I don't care, I want to keep playing.
Right.
So again, I will be getting more into football football, not American football, but soccer.
Right.
In later weeks, we're going to be delving a little bit more in depth here. Please be patient. I am working on it. I'm going to be learning as I go, and hopefully some of y'all will be learning with me.
Zach,
go ahead.
Zach, how's the audio? Is that better? Okay,
Good.
Sorry. I want to make sure I jump in
Okay.
and get it out before there we go. Okay.
Yep. All right. Let's see.
Well, yeah, might as well be able to be heard.
Next, we're jumping into, what did I say we were going to do next, guys? Hockey?
Hockey I'm prepared for.
Okay. Hockey. Woohoo.
A lot more teams qualified, and one more team has bit the dust. So
Yes.
Doom.
So we've got, and I have this written down. Thank you, Mikey, though you're not here with us tonight.
Yes, thank you, brother.
In the playoffs, we've got
Let's just say
Boston.
I forgot to fix the Dori Lose logo on there. I'm sorry.
That's okay, hon. It's still Stat Boys Sports Bar. I'm just filling
I
in
know.
tonight.
That's true. That's fair.
As we know, Boston's already made we knew that. They made it last week, the week before. Boston, Carolina is in, New Jersey is in, Toronto is in, and the New York Rangers are all guaranteed playoff spots at this point.
Yep.
Do you want their numbers? It doesn't matter at this point. They're in. Okay. Then we've got Las Vegas and Los Angeles.
Yeah, Vegas. Yeah, us and the Knights are going to be going to the end. We're going to be battling right up to the last game to see who gets the top spot in the Pacific. It's going to be a freaking war of attrition the rest of the way.
I believe it, and I really hope the Kings do it because that's
You
the
too.
only California team I root for.
Well, it's one of those, we lost Quick, and he's with Vegas now, so I wouldn't be obscenely pissed if they made it. So
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, because Quick is a good goalie. I'm not sure why. I haven't read all of that stuff, but it would still be nice to see the Kings go.
Well, it would. It's one of those, Quick. The Kings really had to do with Quick. They weren't going to play him, so they had to deal him, right? I'm just curious how it's going to lay out because both teams definitely make it. It's just a matter of who. If I think we're in a position, the Kings anyway, where we don't have to deal with the Knights in the first round, which is always good because that tended to be problematic last time. So hopefully that'll change. Anyway, we need to get on with the rankings. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. Up next, we've got my team, the Minnesota
There you
Wild.
go. There you go.
Okay, followed by Colorado, Edmonton, Dallas, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Winnipeg, the New York Islanders, and Pittsburgh. They are also trying to get in. Quick note here is that Winnipeg and New York Islanders both have 85 points, but Winnipeg has scored 209 goals to the Islanders 206. Okay, now moving on to the other column, starting with Calgary, Nashville. Ooh, some of them boys are getting in trouble too.
Yes.
Fights and playing dirty.
Well, Nashville's having a tough time this week anyway. Those poor. By the way, everything, all of our prayers to everybody that's dealing with that crap right now. God, that was awful.
Yes.
Another one. Ugh.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And then let's see. After Smashville, we've got Florida. Buffalo and Ottawa are tied at 77, but Buffalo's got 271 goals to Ottawa's 240. Washington, Vancouver, St. Louis, Detroit, Philadelphia, and Montreal are still shooting for a playoff position. No longer in the running is Arizona, Anaheim Duckies, sorry, Mike, Chicago, San Jose, and the Columbus Blue Jackets.
My poor Blue Jackets.
I'm sorry about your Blue Jackets.
Hey, you know what though? The Ducks and the Jackets and the Sharks and the Hawks and the Coyotes can have a hell of a golf game ahead of them. You know, coming up in the summer, they're going to have time to get that driving game down.
Yes, that is definitely for sure. Connor
I'm an asshole,
McDavid
but I don't care.
Yeah. Connor McDavid of the Oilers
I don't care.
has scored 60 goals in a single season. The record is 92, set by the great one, Wayne Gretzky. With less than 10 games to go, McDavid would need a hat trick in every game
Right.
to be able to beat that record. So,
Yeah.
considering how difficult a hat trick is for anybody to get in any one game,
Even
I
Connor.
don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's also he's the 22nd NHL player and fourth active to score at least 60 goals in a single season, joining Alex Ovechkin of the Capitals, who did 65 in the 2007-8 season.
Yep.
Sorry. Steven Stamkos of the Tampa Bay Lightning did 60 in the 2011-12 season, and Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs did it in the 21-22 season. In reaching 60 goals in 72 games, he's the fastest player to hit the milestone since Mario, I apologize,
Lemieux, you're good. Mario Lemieux, you hit it. You hit it right on there. Very good.
Woohoo! 60 goals in 70 games in 1987-88 season.
Put it this way, Dory. If Mario had stayed healthy, even Wayne himself said if Mario had stayed healthy and not been injury-ridden, he would have been the great one.
Oh, wow.
Super Mario was a thing, man. Before he got his injuries, before he got cancer, man, he was a legit. Not only was he Gretzky good, he was big as McSorley. He was a hoss, and he could still play like that. So yeah,
Nice.
it is a shame that his back just did not cooperate with his career being prolonged because man, he could go.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, sometimes Mother Nature, even when it comes down to our bodies, has other plans for us.
Exactly. But yeah, I am looking forward to seeing how, and again, this is from a Kings fan, so it is what it is, but I'm looking forward to see how good Connor McDavid can really be when the Oilers get to the dance, because that kid's so good. My son's choosing to go to the game against the Kings on his birthday just so he can see Connor McDavid when he comes into town.
Wow.
Rather than, actually spend the night with, his family besides his grandfather,
I totally understand.
So.
And let's see. Oh, Matt Boldy of my lovely Minnesota Wild has joined the Hat Trick Club.
Yes.
There are 3 weeks left in the regular season, with the tentative playoff start date being 4/17, and the Stanley Cup Finals are set for June 3rd.
Thank God. I mean, God, it's nice to be back on a regular schedule, man. We were having playoffs start in June. We were having, this lockdown and pandemic just messed everything up the last few years. So I'm glad we're back on the regular. We're actually gonna have playoff hockey in mid-April.
Right. I'm excited as much as I'm able to watch or at least track while I'm at work by watching my scoreboards, my apps on my phone. So we'll see what happens.
Exactly.
Anybody else? That's what I got for hockey right now.
There you go. That's going to be in this show because Josh and I mean Zach's in the fantasy hockey.
Yes.
So
yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I am.
But hey, 4th place. I'm not complaining. Considering where I started and my struggles at the beginning, we're good. And actually, if I remember correctly, Connor McDavid is on my fantasy team still.
Yeah, yes.
So here's the real shitty part about what I said a few seconds ago. So, not shitty. I take that back. So if things stay the way they are right now, and let's see, the Kings have. Let me just get the points here. Playoffs started today. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, piss. Okay, so right now the Kings are 3rd in the conference, and they're not the division leaders, so they wouldn't get that automatic, top seed or 1 or 2. So if playoffs started right now, we'd be playing the defending champion Avalanche. So, yeah, that's ugly stuff. You guys, Minnesota,
we're at the top.
where the hell they go? Oh yeah. Okay, so you guys will be facing. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 95. Who has the lowest points? Just do that. Lose a peg. Well, there's a first round win. So there's that. So
I'll take it.
But yeah. Vegas would be playing since they're the top team. Or no, I'm sorry. Actually, Vegas is the top team overall. They'd be playing win a peg. For those of you guys who don't keep up with what I'm saying. See, Minnesota would play. Let's see, it's 2 versus 7. That would be. Ooh, Seattle. Ooh, yes. Please take them out. That'd be fun. But they have a hot hand though. They've been shaky lately, but they've had a very much different sophomore season because they sucked last year, and they've been. I mean, they're in the wild card hunt, so they're playing much better. But the West will be
a team to be watching in the future.
Yeah, the West will be truly wild west this playoffs because it's going to be crazy till the end.
Oh yeah, I can see that already. It's going to be fun.
Yes, as it should be.
With that, we're going to move on to a little bit of baseball. Yes. We have not started regular season yet. I think we're getting ready to start, or is it starting?
Literally Thursday night.
Thursday night. So we just had the World Baseball Classic. It ended with Japan defeating the United States 3-2.
Yes.
The best part about this particular game was you had Angels teammates on opposing teams.
Ohtani-san. Yes.
Ohtani-san and Mike Trout. So
yeah.
Mike Trout was the U.S. team captain, and Shohei Ohtani was pitching against Trout.
Uh-huh.
And without reading his whole paragraph here, Ohtani struck Trout out.
He sure did.
To win the game.
Uh-huh.
To win the game. And now they said afterwards, I am going to bring this up, is after the game, Trout praised his teammate and said he was proud to be captain for the U.S. And Ohtani-san asked how he felt pitching against Mike Trout. And he remarked that he's been asked that question many times on pitching to who he thinks is the best hitter, saying it was the greatest situation facing the greatest hitter. So I see these two men have an awful lot of respect for each other. I'm glad they're teammates.
Mike Trout got that franchise. It's not called franchise tag in baseball because we don't have that in baseball. But he's the Angels. He is the franchise of the Angels. He is the guy. He got a boatload of money from Artie, and he deserves every bit of it. He is the greatest player in the game right now. I said what I said. With that being said, I have said for years, if Ohtani stays healthy, and if Trout stays healthy for a full 162, look out.
Yep.
Angels are going to go into November. If both of them stay healthy this year, which, pray to the Angels, let it be a thing.
Come on.
I am sick and damn tired, with all due respect to my LA people, including my own family. I am sick and tired of the Dodgers be the only team in discussion. Damn it, the Halos. Yeah.
Go Guardians.
Of course. Go ahead, Sam.
Cleveland sports are what they are, so they have to do something.
True.
Jeff, did you see the 1 year deal? So they had Ohtani on hold with the contract, but it was gonna get done. But did you see the 1 year deal he signed?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
1 year, Dori. 1 year, $65 million.
Wow.
That's the thing. If he stays healthy at that money, he better stay healthy at that money. Shit. But yeah, it's like I said, we've got a hell of a pitcher who was honestly hired for his hitting. Let me be clear on that. He was hired for the fact that he can do both very well, but he's a better hitter than he's a pitcher, and he's still a damn good pitcher.
That's saying something.
Yep.
How much was that deal, Zach?
1 year, $65 million.
$65 million?
For 1 year.
We reached
Being
an
Cleveland
agreement
pronouns,
for
pal.
extension with Andres Gimenez, I don't even know how you say his name, on a 7-year, $106.5 million extension.
Yeah, and he's not anything to see that either. But yeah, 7 years for $100 and something million over that 7 years. So that shows how invested hopefully, already is in Otani and keeping Trout. And like I said, just again, I'll pray to the Halos because man, if they stay healthy, I am going to be walking the Angels hat. That I have my baby picture, Mr. Statboy, freaking becoming a fan in 02. I'll rock that shit all season.
There you go. There you go.
If he signed a 1 year, $65 million deal, what the hell is that contract going to look like in the offseason? Are we going to see a bigger deal than A-Rod got?
Hey, you know what? It all depends what trophy goes in the showcase at Angel Stadium at the end of the year. That's the ticket, brother.
That makes sense.
If it's the freaking National American League title, probably not. If it's the World Series trophy, then we have a discussion.
There we go. There we go.
So since JJ's not here, I don't even know if he's watching because he's got stuff going on. Anybody care if I talk about NXT real quick?
Go right ahead.
We already knew about the match they made official for the North American title with Axiom being involved, being the winner of the ladder match or the match to go into the North American match.
Yep.
The women's championship match, Indy Hartwell qualified, of course, last chance. We knew that. Roxanne's in the match. She's healthy.
Woo-hoo.
She's back. All 6 women are in there now. Roxanne's going. She was put in the advertising for that went up on WWE on NXT's social media this morning, and I'm like, that's interesting because she's hurt and now she's in the match. So Roxanne's in the ladder match for the championship with not Taya Valkyrie. I forget how to say. I think it's Lyra. I think it's sorry about that, by the way. Yeah. Zoe and Gigi and Tiffany and Indy. I am here for this match, like I wasn't already, but yeah. So that'll be part of the NXT show on Saturday morning that I'm going to unfortunately miss because I'll be with the Undertaker, which I'm also waiting on delivery for that, by the way, too. I don't know if anybody that hasn't been on a stream with me the last couple of days. I'm expecting a delivery that's going to be part of that photo op, and I'll show it when it gets here. If it gets here between now and the end of the ladies' predictions.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Little thing to stick around for, you know.
Mm-hmm. All right. I have it here somewhere.
Oh, it's here. Cool. Okay, be right back.
It's here?
It's here. Be right back.
Okay.
I'll save for the WrestleMania thing since it's part of WrestleMania anyway. I'll save for WrestleMania, but I will bring it in. So
okay.
Are we moving to football or moving to...
Well, I need to jump back to baseball real quick because I forgot I had a note on that.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's just something that kind of jumped out at me that I thought was interesting.
All
that
right.
happens. Scary thoughts, right?
Every once in a while.
Got that. Okay. Philadelphia Phillies. Their catcher, JT Realmuto, if I'm saying
close enough, that'll work. I know how to say it myself, so you're fine.
Was ejected against the Toronto Blue Jays. Apparently, the pitcher Craig Kimbrell called for pitch timer violation, which I'm understanding now they have a time frame in which they have to pitch the ball.
Yep.
Okay.
Stick around. Exactly. Yeah.
So Realmuto, however you say it, settled back down and held up his glove for a new ball from umpire Randy Rosenberg. He paused for a moment and moved his glove aside a little bit, just as Randy was through the ball to the ground. Not knowing what was going on behind him or anything, apparently he's considered showing up the ump, and he got ejected for it. Every time you show up the ump, anytime a catcher shows up the ump, he's going to get ejected, is what this article said.
Well, that's you know what they need to start running and again. I will never not laugh at Przinski reaching back for the umpire for a ball. Give me another ball, one you can see, because of the bad calls he's making. That was the greatest thing in the history of Major League Baseball. I love AJ for that shit, right? But they got to start reining them in. They really got – if they're going to leave the umpires back there to be calling the balls and strikes and not put a machine in, like I keep saying, then they need to have these players start showing respect. As long as the umpires don't get too dick-like the freaking Angel, what's his name? Oh, God. Smack that guy in his stupid head. But You know, it's always a delicate balance when you've got human beings dealing with human beings in a competitive sports, even if it's supposed to be the official in charge of keeping things in order, they're human beings at the end of the day. So as long as there's that balance, it's fine. But yeah, stuff like that, you know, it seems like, why? That's dumb. It's to keep the bigger shit from escalating. That's why. You nip the little shit in the bud, the big things don't go sideways.
And just on the tail end of that, JT also just returned from the World Baseball Classic. He was a part of that as well.
Right.
All right.
My dad got to go to one of the games in Miami when they were down in Florida. It's probably where he got the damn COVID. Well, on the trip in the Keys, just going to the damn baseball game. No good deed goes unpunished, even going to a World Baseball Classic game in Miami. There you go.
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth?
Love you, Dad. You're not watching, but I love you anyway.
All right.
Shit.
Oh, moving on to NASCAR.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Now, okay. All right. So I don't have the race results this week from last week, but I do have the standings. And at your suggestion, I do have the standings in their order of where they're standing for the playoffs projections. So
okay.
There you go.
Oh,
right
hi,
back.
Manuel. The robot.
Oh, hi, man. Yeah, welcome in, brother. Yes.
Oh, they are testing them in the minors. Oh, and going back on that, I remember way back when, that's how old I am, before they were the San Bernardino 66ers, they were the San Bernardino Spirit.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah.
And King Griffey Jr. would play there. I got to watch him play a lot of times. But I remember sitting in the stands as a fan and booing and you know, just cajoling the hell out of the umpires. It's like, I mean, that's part of the national pastime, right?
Well, I have always been an advocate of a computer calling the balls and strikes, and I say that because when when Middle League one year, and this is going off, I'm going to try to keep it back in here as quick as I can, but we had basically the umpires in Little League are parent volunteers. It's almost always one of the coaches from a team that's not involved in the outcome of the game, or the team mom or whatever. We had one team mom in our division, in the senior division, when I was in high school. I wasn't playing high school, but I was playing King Country Little League as a high school age student. She was so scared of getting hit by the ball, she kept leaning back every time the ball would come down the pike. She ended up being called Bungee Butt, and the league didn't like that very much, so they gave us all a severe warning, to say the very least. On our, but, you know, if the Bungee Butt fits, wear it. Anyway. So, yeah, I am all for computers calling balls and strikes. Out there in the field when they're making the plays, you know, safe or out, you know, on a play, that's one thing. But balls and strikes should be universal. Numbers to the knees, straight up. So.
Huh? My only issue with the robot styling of anything in any workplace is I don't want to see people lose jobs over it.
No, and that's a fair argument. But when you have umpires like Angel Hernandez that lose their job, I'm all for it, because he oh god, he is the worst official in sports. Period. He's the worst official than Earl Hebner in '88. Or 97, if you want to count Montreal as actually being a thing. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay,
that was real life, boys and girls. Anyway.
On to NASCAR.
There you go.
This past week, we had the Circuit of Americas in Houston, right? We've got the current, these are our current standings and playoff projections. Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain. Woohoo. But real quick, the winner of the Circuit of Americas was Tyler Reddick. He got a really nice jump on a late restart in overtime. I think it was like the third overtime. He took first, followed by Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Ross Chastain, William Byron, Austin Cindric, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Chris Buescher, Ty Gibbs, and Todd Gilliland taking 10th. Let's see, our standings currently for the overall, Ross Chastain in first with Kyle Busch in second. So go go, Richard.
So keep in mind as you read this on the screen here, the actual standings right now are to the left. So it's Chastain, Bush, Logano, Harvick,
Bell.
Bell. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Harvick, Bell, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, Truex, then Keselowski.
Yes.
Then we're going to jump back up to Tyler Reddick.
Right. That was my bad because I had it sorted in playoff order. I forgot it was the wrong order, but yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
So yeah, I remember you telling me last week that the top 16 qualify for the playoffs. So that there's a little line on NASCAR.com they cut it off. So that's where the line is cut off. So like it's one of those, just like with the Kings or the playoffs started. If NASCAR playoffs started today, if we were down to the last few races, this would be where we would be.
Yes.
So
yes. And something interesting, apparently there was a couple of, again, because of work, I didn't get to watch the race, but that's okay because I get the highlights. Same here. So a 7-time champion who is back in the Cup Series, I think he's just part-time, Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, him and Ty Dillon did not even complete the first lap because there was an accident on the first lap that took them out of the race period.
Right.
He was very, very unhappy about that, which I can completely understand. He
should be. You know, people give Jimmy shit because of his crew chief and the shenanigans that were afoot for a lot of his reigns as champion. But you know what? Yeah. He's back now with a different team, and you know I think he should be given a fair chance, even if he is a part-time. Yes. So yeah, that was messed up that it happened to him. So.
It certainly is. Now I know we've been covering the Cup Series, but there's also the Cup Series generally runs on Sunday. You have the Xfinity car race that runs on Saturday, and the Craftsman Truck Series that runs usually on Fridays.
Right.
And and a lot of the drivers do drive more than just the Cup Series, or some drive truck and Craftsman and Xfinity. Some do Craftsman and Cup. I mean, some of the drivers do multiple of the series. So we're going to start bringing updates on those as well in the future.
Okay. Yeah. I also wanted to talk about, I forget what series he's in, so forgive me, but I was talking about this when I came back from the podcast, but Frankie Muniz is in one of the series. So I want to make sure
he's in Xfinity.
Yes. I want to make sure we give Frankie a little love because we were talking about that. He and I at the Garcia Twins podcast. I want to make sure I get their name right now. So yeah, it's going to be a fun rest of the way for NASCAR too. We're only in not even April yet. And you know, we got till at least October. So it'll be a good time.
Yes, it will. It will. So yeah, we're going to cover more of the NASCAR series, not just Cup Series. And yes, Frankie, if I remember correctly, is driving in the Xfinity series. So that's the Saturday show.
Very cool for him to be doing that because I remember when he got his start out here running the celebrity race at Toyota at Long Beach. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. That is cool. I'm glad to see that he's moving on, not from the acting and exploring.
Yeah, it's one of those, you know, he will always be who he will be in the acting world because people just can't, you know, not fixate on especially such a popular show like Malcolm in the Middle. It's such a huge hit for so many years. But you know, he's branching out, so good for him.
Yep. And that's what I've got on NASCAR today.
There we go.
So let's see. Football. Oh, I wrote it on the back.
The XFL.
The XFL. These are our current power rankings with the, and I'm actually going to give you the poll here. DC Defenders in first place.
Nice.
And they are 6-0.
Yep.
The Houston Roughnecks are in second place, and they are, where did I put them? 4-2.
Yes.
The St. Louis Battlehawks are next, and they are 4-2. The Seattle Sea Dragons are also 4-2. Let's see. Renegades are out of Arlington. Arlington is 3-3. Then we've got the San Antonio Brahmas. They are 2-4. And I'm sorry, I'm skipping a team here. The Vegas Vipers, well, they're Vegas. That's why I'm skipping them, right? I'm kidding. Vegas, well, they're 1-5, so maybe they're worth skipping.
Right.
And then the Orlando Guardians are 0-6.
Yeah. So part of me is glad the Brahmas are doing as badly as they're doing, because I was sure that they would get a little bit of a favored thing from the founder of the new owner of the league, because of the Brahma Bull nickname, and the fact that Hines Ward's their coach, which, Hines Ward's a big fan of The Rock and vice versa. So I was worried about it, I'm not going to lie, but I'm glad that it's so petty to be glad somebody's doing so shitty, but at least we know it's not getting favored nonsense. So it's
right.
Very fine line to ride. I feel bad for doing it, but
it is what it is. I was trying to find, like I normally do with the NFL quarterback stats, I was trying to do that for this week of XFL, because I think we're not giving them enough love like we do XFL.
No, I got you.
But I was having difficulty finding that. However, while I was looking up this information, I did see that Ben DiNucci of the Seattle Sea Dragons is a former starter for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, it's true.
So there we go. There we go. There's a little bit of love towards the XFL from the sports bar tonight. I am going to try and do better next week and actually have those quarterback stats.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
And well, I think people tune in for our football stuff, and that's what we do during NFL. So we should be doing it during the XFL and when we start USFL as well. I'm going to try and make sure we have that information.
Right.
All right. What else do I have? I have a note from Mikey that says breaking news on 3/27.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson is requesting a trade, saying the Ravens have not been interested in meeting my value. Now, my question is, what does he think his value is?
Right.
His current contract offer guarantees $133 million at signing, $175 million if injured, and the offer for $200 million in 2026 if on the roster has been turned down.
Ooh.
So, what does Lamar Jackson feel his value is?
Yeah, that's very interesting. If he's not being met already, where does he think he ranks? I mean, Lamar's not, just some, jabron off the street, I grant you, but that's a lot of money to turn down.
Right. And Emmanuel, I'm offended. There's no such thing as too much football.
Yeah,
no.
It's
No.
No. As long as it's not going on at the same time, that's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I have a tough enough time keeping up with wrestling, which most of this we do a lot of wrestling. I will agree with that. Yes.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson does need to win a championship before he can get a raise.
Absolutely.
He needs to prove he's worth the money first.
Yep.
But I mean, we have WWE SmackDown, WWE Raw. We've got NXT. You've got your AEW. You've got so many wrestling things, and some of them actually overlap a little bit. It's hard to keep up with them.
It absolutely does.
So I get a lot of my information partly because I work nights. Well,
right.
Late afternoon to midnight.
Right.
Usually my keeping up with things are the news blurbs I get from Google News, Yahoo News, or even Newsbreak. Some of those sources I question. Or trying to be on to hear what you guys are talking about.
Right. Exactly. Appreciate that as always. So yeah, it's Lamar, I don't think he's, out of line asking for the amount of money he's asking for. I think it's more about he doesn't want to be where he is anymore and is trying to find an excuse to go.
That could be too. I mean, not everybody's happy with where they're at, right?
No, exactly.
And
when Josh's fault.
What happened?
It's Josh's fault.
Well, of course, Josh's fault because he's not here. Yeah.
The reason why Lamar is acting like this is because the Browns overpaid Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
And now Lamar wants more than Deshaun has.
Yep.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Josh.
And
so there you go, Josh. It's your fault.
That's right, Josh. When you come back tomorrow, or when you're on a great show tomorrow, we'll make sure to let you know it's all your fault.
All righty, folks. We were keeping this one short and sweet, and
Okay, cool.
A little bit of time. Again, Jeff, do you have any trailers or anything you need to run?
Not the trailers, but I will be more than happy to promote that coming up at the top of the hour, Miss Dori Lou, our bartender for the night, our more fabulous red hair than I ever had, even when I did have hair. She'll be on along with Cece, JJ's girl, as well as our friend Arlene Rodriguez, who was and I probably said the name wrong. Give me a second here. Dominguez. Sorry, Arlene. I apologize. Arlene Dominguez, who on Saturday, along with her brother Emmanuel, each donated a couple $100 in super chats.
Wow.
To open mic. Got JJ over the threshold in his first month of payouts. He will get paid in April. I'm getting a fat enough check where the delivery that came in the mail today was authorized because that payout's coming. That is a loan payment at this point. But again, thank you all and for doing that. So she'll be on with us tonight. I did talk to a couple other people. I did send a link to a couple people. I haven't heard back from one of them. The other two I have heard back from. They're not going to be able to be on. But we do have, again, the ladies of the multiverse previewing and predicting WrestleMania. That's coming up literally at the top of the hour across the multiverse on this channel, the Casa, on my channel, on Noah's channel, on James's channel. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up in just right now 15 minutes. So we'll be going live with that momentarily. And then it's just pretty much batshit crazy from there. I'll be on the Greg Cherry Show tomorrow. I'll be down in Hollywood when that's going live because I'm going to the Sam Roberts podcast in Hollywood at the Comedy Store. Major superstars. I'm talking Medusa's going to be there. Dolph Ziggler's going to be there. X-Pac, if Lula is out of the animal hospital. Lula's currently in the animal ER right now, so we don't know if Sean's going to be there. I don't expect him to be if Lula's still laid up because God no. Kathy Kelly will also be there. Mike Rome. And bum ass Corbin. But he'll be there too. But that's tomorrow. Thursday, of course, starts the true insanity of the week. Oh yeah, and Dolph Ziggler. Thank you. They're my bad. So Dolph Ziggler will also be there on tomorrow's podcast. Where did the damn? Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. That's why. I'm sorry. Do not be a technical guy without a mouse next time, folks. Learn from me. I know what I'm not doing. All right, so I don't know where the hell my links are for these damn shows that we're doing all freaking week, but okay. Multiverse United I'm just gonna switch. No, I'm not gonna do that either. Multiverse United watch along coming up Thursday night. That's from Impact Wrestling and New Japan Together. Friday night is a double feature. We've got Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, as well as our reactions to the Hall of Fame inductees, which now includes Stacy Keibler as of yesterday. So congrats to Stacy on that. NXT Stand Deliver watch along, of course, will be Saturday morning for us on the West Coast, Saturday afternoon for you guys on the East Coast at 12:30 Eastern, followed, of course, by WrestleMania watch along at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Open mic night will be immediately after that. I will be at WrestleMania 3 Hollywood with Mick Foley, Mickey James, Lisa Rivera, and SoCal Val, and so many more. So I'll be popping in live during that. Of course, WrestleMania Sunday. The Dads and Always on Wrestling will be on Monday, prior to Raw After Mania with our top 10 ECW World Champions. Raw After Mania, of course, will be live at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. We don't know the commentary configuration just yet due to a unfortunate passing in James's family. We're trying to see what team we're going to go with, if we're going to go a full double header stream like we wanted, or we're still working that out. And, of course, next Tuesday, right back here, for Stepway Sports Bar, featuring Dori Lou and all the other crazy characters we have in this hour of shenanigans, hour and a half probably next week. So stay tuned for everything on the Casa D-18 Studios and Renegades reviews this week. JJ yesterday reviewed The Chaperone because he's a glutton for Triple H punishment. Tomorrow will be The Wrong Side of Town, starring Rob Van Dam and featuring Dave Bautista. I said what I said. I mean it. Friday, it's true. He was the damn star of the movie, but he's in the thing with like 4 scenes. And then Friday will be Escaping the Undertaker, which is a Netflix interactive movie featuring the New Day. Hall of Fame, because Undertaker's in there. So that's why that's the movie. And then we got new release Saturday in April for JJ. That'll be top 10 it'll be his movies starring musicians. But new release Saturday is nothing to do with that. That is going to be The Magician's Elephant, which is a cute as hell movie on Netflix. Can't recommend that enough. So that's all coming up in the next week. So stay tuned for everything, kids. And again, stay tuned at the top of the hour on the Casa, the Jeff Meacham channel, Noah's page, James's page for the Ladies of the Multiverse, previewing and predicting WrestleMania. That is our very next stream coming up here at the top of the hour. I'll throw the graphic up one more time just to make sure I can Aaron Rift it and be obnoxious about it. There it is. There you go. And I'm being messaged, so I think we're going to actually pop off here momentarily.
Yep. And real quick before we do, though, I do have some other breaking news about Dwayne Wade and Dirk. I'm going to mess up his name now, too.
Dirk Nowitzki, yes. Both going to the NBA Hall of Fame. Very cool.
Yes. Very good. Very good. So,
yeah.
Hall of Famers.
Both Hall of Famers for sure. Dirk Nowitzki, I've watched him for years, my whole life, pretty much, or his whole career, I should say, because I'm older than that. But Dwayne Wade also, both solid quality NBA stars, well deserving, long overdue.
Alrighty. Thank you all, folks, for watching. We hope you enjoyed this venture with us into Dori Lou Sports Bar this evening. Look forward to seeing you some more in the future. Manuel, thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you get to your sister has fun with us tonight if she's able to join us. And we will all see you again soon. Stat Boy should be back next week, so you don't have to just tolerate my voice.
Oh, you did great, Dori. Great job tonight.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful evening. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And don't forget to tip your bartenders. Good night.
But make sure you stay on this channel for the preview of WrestleMania coming up next. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.